one person I did find, and I rang him up, and he said, yeah, it's me, but a lot of water's gone under the bridge, and I'm not really particularly somebody that likes to renew those old things. And that's fair enough. It's not obligatory to try and get into the same stream twice, as it were. You don't have to do it. You don't have to feel guilty if you don't want to do it, I think. But in my case, it's interesting to know. For me, it's interesting to know what happens to the people, what has happened to the people that you've shared some of your life with. Yeah, it's interesting to see how they've got on. And obviously, I'm going to be at this meal in Cambridge with some people that have been in my faculty, although the turnout is not that brilliant, it turns out. But I promised that I would go, and I'm going to go, and I'm going to see Robert Lethbridge, and that's the most important thing, because he's going to retire. This is his retirement dinner. And but the only person that from my year that is definitely on the guest list as of this moment is actually somebody, and I won't use his name because it's not fair on him, but he's actually became a lot richer, a lot more famous than I am. So he's well known, and in a sense, when you see somebody who's had more success, you just got to accept the fact that okay, you just got to take that with a smile on your face, and just accept it. Certainly it hasn't been easy for him. He's been criticised and things in public, because I can imagine that it would be impossible to undertake the work that he did undertake and not get criticised on the internet and in public. No matter what happened, what the outcome would have been, somebody would have been unhappy, and yet he did it. So that's fine. I've privatised the football club, so I know what it's all about. And so I actually did privatise Górnik Zabrze. So I wasn't the guy who did it to Liverpool, but I did it to Górnik Zabrze. So I know. Thankfully, avoiding even any of the flack on my name that has appeared on my university friend's name. So we were good pals back then. I could tell you some very amusing stories, but I won't. He was a person who I liked a lot. I liked his father a lot as well, who used to come and see him, and he used to say to me, "I want you to take my son with you to church, because I want you to be a positive influence on him, because I'm afraid that he's not religious enough for my life." His father was a very religious man. I hope still is a very religious man. I have no idea whether he's still with us or not, but I hope so. And all that I ever heard of his father was very, very positive, and I liked him a lot when I saw him. And now when I look at this guy's photos on the internet, I think he's turned into his own father. Anyway, enough of that. I shouldn't be discussing him even. It's not fair. But anyway, I am looking forward to seeing him. But when you see people that have had more success and have made money and have achieved fame, then you think, well, okay, you can get a twinge of regret that you didn't do a bit more and arrange yourself out a little bit better than I have. Look, Hotel Cyprus, that's maybe not the best name at the moment. That's probably not what they thought though when they picked it. But then of course you see other people that don't appear to have done an awful lot with it, and have also done things which are, who seem to think that what I do is quite interesting and what have you. Another person that I hoped was going to be there works for a museum in California, but she's not able to come. She was my supervision partner. She won't. She says she won't be there, which is a pity. She told me that I should look her up if I go to America. But I'd like to go to California, but I never had the chance so far to do it on work, and I'm always expecting to be able to one day, and saving it up for then, I suppose. Anyhow, thus endeth this bit. I shall switch it off because I think I've run out of steam. We've now done 25 kilometers together at this point in the journey. This is Szczecin. And I shall be having these chats during the course of the journey. This is just the first, obviously it started off, this is unbroken footage since leaving my home for the last 29 minutes, now 30 minutes in just a few seconds. So that's enough for this one. I mean, that'll be three lots just in itself, I think. And I'll be putting it back on later on in the journey when something comes to my mind to talk about. Usually I start talking about something with you, and my mind starts to get onto more and more things, and then talking for half an hour just happens on its own without me even planning it. But very kind to indulge me, actually, in following me through all of this blah-de-blah. It's very kind of you to actually, and then afterwards even comments that show that people have really genuinely listened to what I've said, which is really quite remarkable. Thank you for that. So it's very kind of you, like I say. Anyway, we'll see each other later on this journey.